Man, it's tough when Chelsea don't play in the weekend, and it's even tougher when you see rivals picking up 3 points. Some Chelsea news to go through, and we'll react to Arsenal's victory. I'm watching Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid as well, see what's going on there. Let's talk about all of this stuff.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another segment of Chelsea News Blitz. Quite a few interesting topics to talk about. I'm very excited to talk about one particular one, which we'll get into straight away. And of course, we'll do a reaction on Arsenal's victory against Brentford. My days. They easily blew aside Brentford, didn't they? So we'll talk about that. But first up, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea News Blitz. And we start from here. I love this. I want to get into the details of this, but first let's go through the news. Armando Broja is impressing in training and closing in on gaining a starting spot. Insiders have revealed Graham Potter is raving about Broja's potential and ability to fit into his system. Now, I saw this news first, I believe, Saturday. I think it might have been the Sun or Chelsea Sun, the Sun Chelsea. And I didn't pay too much attention because obviously I don't want to, I don't want to trust the Sun on any type of news because they're not reliable when it comes to these sort of things. They're always about clickbait. But obviously Simon Phillips tweeting it out makes me think, okay, there might be something there. But do you know what? Even if it's true or not true, I love the thought of this. Every time Armando Broja has come on this season, he's impressed. Obviously, he's had the injuries early on. It disrupted his preseason. And then when Thomas Tuchel got the opportunity to have him back, he did use him off the bench. And every time he came off the bench, he seems like he was able to give a lot more than what Havertz was doing up front, because it was pretty much like for like getting substituted for Havertz. And in recent game against Salzburg, he deserved an assist. That counter-attack, that pace that he showed from that counter-attack was brilliant. I think he even came on when we beat West Ham, was it, off the bench. He performed well second half. I think it was 1-1, and then we threw in all those substitutions and then ended up winning that 2-1. Overall, look, I love this. I think it's time. Players that we talked about, Chukwuemeka yesterday, Broja today. I really hope Graham Potter utilizes these two players and really disrupts the dynamics of the squad. I think the squad, there are certain individuals, we won't name names here, I think you guys all know, getting too comfortable, too complacent being in the Chelsea squad. They feel like they're just walking in the starting lineup. There seems to be no competition against them. And life's very simple, very, very beautiful. These guys need to come in and disrupt that. Players like Broja and Chukwuemeka. And I want Graham Potter to do that. Really rattle it up. Really rattle some of these so-called senior players in the team. And senior doesn't necessarily mean by age. So it could be a youngster, but having that seniority, I suppose. I really want to see Broja and Chukwuemeka take up some of these spots and harness competition. The best ones will stay there and fight and compete, and the ones that can't be bothered competing will fizzle out. And that's exactly what needs to happen. And this is what I said on my recent tweet as well. I just want to quickly showcase that to you guys. I tweeted out saying, great to hear that Broja is impressing Potter. I want to see Broja and Chukwuemeka disrupt the dynamics of the squad, take over certain spots that are up for grabs. Players that care will fight and compete. Players that don't will fizzle out. We need competition, no more freebies. And I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be off the back of, let's say, Aubameyang being benched or anything like that. I honestly think there could be a situation where you could possibly play both up front. I think Broja being so mobile can at times drop in a little bit if he needs to. And that combination between him and Sterling could be, him and Aubameyang could be very, very interesting. And someone like Aubameyang would appreciate another partner as well, as opposed to doing everything on his own. You have Sterling on that, left wing back more of a left wing position. You can have on the right side Reece James, and then you really rely on the eights to produce. And this is where I feel like players like Mason Mount or even Havertz probably will be the straight up substitution for Broha up front. But even for Mount, someone like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who seems to show a little bit more impetus when it comes to finding those attacking plays and key passes, someone like him, for the time being, for who we have, obviously we'll talk about, we won't touch on it in this particular segment. There's some rumors about, us possibly getting more attacking players in the January transfer window and midfield and so on and so forth. We'll talk about that in another segment, probably sometime tomorrow. But yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Chukwuemeka, someone like Kovacic or Jorginho at the base of it. We need players that are going to be delivering a lot more from midfield so that we can allow the attackers up front to do their thing, because I feel like we're not getting enough from midfield, which is then leaving the strikers a little bit too much to do. And this is what Tammy Abraham talked about as well in recent times. Some recent quotes that were going around for Tammy Abraham saying it can be a lonely situation for a Chelsea forward. So do look out for those quotes that Tammy said. But look, in regards to Armando Broja, I am all set for this. I'm all ready for this. I want to see him. I want to see him in the starting lineup, whether it's taking over Aubameyang's spot, which, as I said, I'd like to see both of them together. Bottom line, I want to see Broja start more often, and I feel like his energy, his enthusiasm is gonna be a lot to consider. Oh my God, Real Madrid just scored, and I think Vinicius Junior has just started dancing, and Atletico Madrid fans, they don't like it. Real Madrid 1, Atletico Madrid 0. Okay, we'll continue on over here. It was one of those difficult moments when you say, "Have I done anything wrong?" Do not even be in the squad. I would never say anything about bad about Thomas. He was a good guy, a good manager. The first game of the season, it was frustrating. This is Hudson-Odoi talking about his, start to this season under Chelsea Football Club, and potentially then obviously moving on to Bayer Leverkusen on loan. Do you know what? I like how he's opened up over here and talked about this. I must say, like with all the feelings that Thomas Tuchel showed for Callum Hudson-Odoi last season, it didn't always translate. But then again, I have to say, has Callum Hudson-Odoi done enough at Chelsea Football Club? Probably didn't even get enough chances, to be honest. Every time he ended up playing as a right wing back. Maybe there was probably maybe he did sort of deserve some chances later on last season. Was there an injury? Maybe there was a bit of an injury as well last season. But this season, maybe there was some form of conversation that needed to be had, that maybe he deserves something. Look, I guess Thomas Tuchel it was a bit of a mess, wasn't it? The way the preseason started and so on and so forth. And it just didn't materialize. Look, still with Callum Hudson-Odoi, there's a lot of people that are saying, let's not get too excited, too over the board. Still got a long way to go in Bayer Leverkusen. Still got heaps to develop. So far, yes, bits and pieces have looked very, very well, but he hasn't been able to manage to put together an entire 90 minutes. And obviously goals and assists still needs to be, considered, and hasn't really registered that many as yet. I think 1 assist so far. He's been part of the build-up of getting goals, as I said, against Atletico Madrid in previous video. But he really needs to start translating it into more assists and more goals, because he is playing in the attacking side of things over there. So look, let's see what Callum does. But yeah, look, it seems like he was frustrated somewhat with Thomas Tuchel, not being in the squad at all. And it was a bit surprising, but maybe it was surprising. It wasn't entirely surprising, I suppose, because there was rumors that he was going to go out on loan. Why he didn't go on loan last season, I still don't know. He really should have gone on loan. But let's see what Callum Hudson-Odoi does. Apparently, the word is Todd Bowley wants him back. That's why he didn't want to put a buy clause on it, or buy option for Leverkusen. Obviously, Leverkusen would like to buy him. But Todd Bowley has said to him, we want you back once the loan is over. So let's see what the future holds for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Christoph Froome is really close to being Chelsea's new DOF, and he wants to join Chelsea. He's really good behind the scenes, which is appreciated by Todd Bowley. Froome is the man behind many talents like Haaland, Sadio Mane, Upamecano, Keita. This is from Fabrizio Romano. I mean, some big names over here, as you can see. I think this is getting close. This is getting very close. I think this will end up being going through very soon. Christoph Froome will probably be Chelsea director of football, and we need to sort this out ASAP so that we can concentrate on planning out what we want to do down the track. We don't want this to drag out too long. Sources believe the appointment of Christoph Froome has the blessings of Graham Potter, and another round of positive talks were held. Froome will take the sporting director title that Bowley gave himself on an interim basis. This is from Matt Law. Further goes on to say Chelsea could still appoint a general manager or technical director to work alongside Froome. And I think this is why there's that rumors about Luis Campos as well. Look, I've said it previously. I don't want too many chefs in the kitchen, but if there is a necessity to do this, then fine. But there needs to be distinguished, roles that gets described to these individuals what their role is, so that people don't seem to clash against each other, and then Graham Potter doesn't know who's doing what, and we're in a mess. We need to ensure, if we're going to hire Froome, if we're going to hire Luis Campos, proper roles are given so that they know what is expected of them. So look, ladies and gentlemen, I hope Christoph Froome happens. As I said, plenty of planning to do. We need to figure out how we want to play for the next so many years and seasons and so on. And I really want to see Graham Potter given a proper time. I know some of you guys will say time is given based on success, but success doesn't come if you're not patient, man. So we need to show patience, and hopefully Christoph Froome gets done. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it in regards to Chelsea news. Now we're going to react to the Arsenal win. They're back on top. They are back on top, ladies and gentlemen. Arsenal get a nice victory against Brentford. I must say, they put aside Brentford with ease, and I thought it would be a bit of a trouble for Arsenal away from home. I have to say, they seem so well gelled. The chemistry in the team, so well gelled as well. Movement is crisp. Pressing is very good. Passing is excellent. They got goals from everywhere. They really do. Saliba is chipping in with goals, and Saliba, what a defender, man. Rolls Royce of a defender. They're keeping clean sheets. I thought players like Mbeumo, Ivan Toney, so much been talked about, really going to give Arsenal a bit of trouble. But this Arsenal team, we'll try and get an Arsenal fan on the channel very, very soon. We're going to talk about whether they're real title contenders. I tend to think they are. I know it's still early days, but it's not like in UEFA Cup they're going to get trouble. They are one of the best teams out there. We'll see what happens in Europa League down the track. But, injuries, yes, but the depth isn't that bad either. They're galvanized as a team today. Fabio Vieira, this guy, he just snapshotted a thunderbolt from midfield. They've got goals from everywhere. This is the thing. And then Xhaka as well, producing that early cross from midfield and finding Gabriel Jesus. What a signing for him, for Arsenal. This is the thing. We don't seem to have goals from everywhere, especially from midfield. We can't throw in thunderbolts like the way Fabio Vieira did. We don't even seem to have crosses from midfield like the way Xhaka did. Xhaka having a fantastic season for Arsenal this season. So look, kudos to Arsenal. Let's see how they go. As I said, early days, but the signs are they're looking very, very good. And I don't know, man, is this the route that we need to go down the track? Being patient with Graham Potter, and slowly but surely those players will gel and will click. I know some of you guys won't be happy. We don't want to wait around like the way Arsenal has waited around. Of course we don't. But is there any other option? Man City's running away with it. Can you see us catching Man City anytime soon? And now Arsenal, they are way ahead of us. Whether you like it or not, they are ahead of us. So we'll see what happens. And Spurs as well. They just keep churning in wins. But I know Spurs, they haven't been playing that well, but they still get to finish the job off. So, and then Liverpool, obviously, they're not out of it as yet. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you feel about everything we've gone through. Armando Broja being the biggest news. Would you like to see him in the team? I personally would love to see him. What do you think about Callum Hudson-Odoi? Is he someone you want to see back in Chelsea Football Club down the track in the future, depending on how he does, or someone you'd like to cash in? And yeah, Arsenal Football Club, man. I mean, what's going on? How are you feeling about that? We'll do the transfer news segment. There's a few, news about transfers for Chelsea, which we'll touch on in the next segment. I really wanted to focus on Armando Broja, this particular news segment. So let me know how you feel about all of that. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Very close to 17,000 subscribers. So let's get there. See ya.